What's up, Bumblebee? It's having a rest. I can see it breathing. What's up, Bumblo?
Are you recording the Bumblebee?
I am recording a Bumblebee. Oh, it hates me.
Why?
Oh, it hates me. Oh, shit. This creature doesn't look native. There's another one. We're here outside the hidden gem. There is a gem called free speech, and it is a little bit too hidden. Now, I speak very freely on my channel. I get the occasional slap on the wrist from my handlers at YouTube, but a big common theme that my viewers complain to me about is that my comment section is maybe a bit too free speechy. There's hate, there's bigotry, there's insults, there's people mocking each other, and just generally being free speechy. Should I censor my comments, Rob?
I don't think so. You know, since social media has really taken off, we live in a different age, and we have to adjust to that. I know people that get all kinds of mean tweets and mean comments and all of that. Especially, I know celebrities do and things like that. It doesn't surprise me at all that people are saying tough stuff to you. But I don't think that that's the right way, is just cutting them off. The comment section, I think when you're a keyboard warrior, and it's easy to call people bad names because you're not in front of them, things that you would type to somebody you would never say to their face. And I defy somebody who said something rude to you to say that to your face, because I think I've gotten to know you a little bit, and I think, you know, if they said that straight to your face, I think you'd probably slug them.
Well, I'd video them. I'd make money on videoing them. But well, yeah, it's the modern slugging is getting a YouTube video out of it.
And we're all guilty of it. When I see something and I don't like it, I'll say something probably that is not thought through, and it's not right, and it's taken us to places that never existed before, when you didn't have that. And it's just a very different world that we live in, and that I think it really, I hate to say it, but I think it comes with the territory. As long as people aren't threatening your life, and you know, when they're taking it too far, then I think it has to be allowed, even when it hurts, even when it's uncomfortable, and just deal with that.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Do you think there's an element of paradise syndrome in that my generation, people younger than me, maybe even slightly older than me, like yourself, we've not had any major world war. The Cold War didn't end up burning us up in a nuclear holocaust, so everything's been so good. Right. So now, instead of getting upset at an invasion of a country, I know it's ironic with Russia invading Ukraine, but young people don't seem to know what real struggle and real hardship is. There you go, Charlie Veitch in the past fixed it for you. Okay, we're walking south on Market Street, just continuing the chat about genetics and people and mammals and primates and Homo sapien and Homo erectus and Neanderthal and Denisovan. What if, hey mate, you okay? What if our legal system here in the UK or in America or Europe or whatever, what if it's not racist, but different people from different parts of the world were brought up, and I don't mean 70-year lifespan, 80-year lifespan, different parts of the world, you might have a continent where the reward for an ultra-aggressive defending of your honor in front of the tribe is instantly more females, more food, a bigger house, more breeding, more evolutionary advantage to you. And then, you know, it might have been like that for millions of years. Someone taunts you, someone dishonors you, and you don't think about it irrationally. Stab, 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 shoot, 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 or whatever you used 1,000 years ago. And that was that. And the rewards were massive. But if you come from a part of the world which has had organized civilization for thousands of years, it starts to affect the genes. The people who are, and then in civilizations, whether it's ancient India, whether it's the Samoans, whether it's the Aztecs, whether it's the Eskimo, doesn't matter. But in those societies, maybe if you have an ultra-aggressive, violent, murderous reaction to some slight against you, the reward isn't more females, isn't more power and money. The reward is you might get exiled from the tribe. You might get your head chopped off. You might never be allowed a sexual partner again in your life. So, again, I don't... Hey, Kai, I'll come and chat to you in a sec. So I don't think the Western justice system is racist per se. I feel that there's ancient histories, ancient genetic histories which aren't being told and which some people are running into, you know? If your instinct when someone robs you or insults you in front of a big group of people is to annihilate that person no matter what, no matter the consequences, you're going to be in jail. You're going to get a 25 to life term. You're going to be an old man where no one wants to have babies with you by the time you're released. There's your lesson for today. We've made it to Crack Gardens, Cracky Central, without getting stabbed or punched. Yeah, as I was saying in the past, people would have real problems getting blown up by a German tank, liberating a concentration camp in the Czech Republic. You know, real horrible stuff. So when they go back to America or London or wherever they go back to, someone calls them a bad name, they're like, well, it doesn't matter. But now kids have no sense of proportion. Yeah. So because we're in paradise, Cold War's over, we've only got minor skirmishes up until Russia invaded Ukraine. So is it just that it's like freedom is like an evolutionary muscle and it hasn't been used?
I think you're onto something for sure, because I was born, so 60s, 70s, 80s and on, and I know you're younger than I am. You're younger than I am. I was born in such a gifted time where it was well after World War II, and I never had to want for anything. My father gave us a very good life, and we were always very comfortable. I know not everybody's had that, but overall, what passes for poverty today is something that would have been considered, you know, amazing wealth back, you know, hundreds of years ago and things like that. And young people today and people older have never had to really struggle, and as a result, there's this entitlement that comes through in the sense that they seem to make up their traumas. They seem to make up their stuff because they've never really had to deal with life.
Okay, so there's 7.7 billion people on Earth. Multiply that by an average life expectancy between the first world and the third world, and you get 592,900,000,000. So the people that are currently alive on the planet today account for just over 500 billion years if you take their cumulative experience of space-time. There's a lot of still arguments online I see between scientists or people who follow the scientific method versus the spiritualists, people who have faith, or they believe, or they get great comfort from following a deity or a religion, and they're still. And then for me, I flirted with Christianity. I flirted with my militant atheism. I still think Christianity is, a great work of art. I think we should liberate our worries about whether Jesus Christ was real. Is God real? Is Christianity real? I don't think that's helpful. I mean, like, the more we delve into neuroscience and also philosophy, it doesn't seem to be anything that's real at its basis. So, is it real? No. But are the effects real? Yes. Fucking hell. So what I'm saying is, science says that the universe is 13.7 billion years old. Yet the cumulative space-time life experience of people alive right now is just over 500 billion years. The universe doesn't seem old enough. And, one thing I like about the Eternals, the religious people, the believers, they talk about infinity and eternity and God is forever and, it's constant forever, infinite love of the universe. Whereas the scientists are a bit more brutal, a bit more savage, a bit more fucking cutting. They're like, nope. There was no universe before 13.7 billion years. And then the child goes, but what happened before the Big Bang? And the scientist is like a militant, like a dogmatic monster. He goes, no, child, there was no space-time. To ask what happened before the Big Bang is nonsense. There was no before. Concepts such as before or after were invented during the Big Bang. But then you get a philosophy person like me. I did philosophy at university. It's not what makes me ask this question. The reason I did a philosophy degree is because I want to ask questions like this. And you say, okay, Mr. Science Man, what about the arena in which events such as Big Bangs can take place? Is there a conceptual arena where an unstable infinity point, as in a singularity, can explode? What is that arena? What is the arena that gives rise to singularities? And what is the mathematical abstraction necessary for there to even be an overclocked graphics card chimpanzee using hunting software to try and figure out the deepest secrets of the universe? What is the relationship between that and absurdity and mathematical aberrations and the paradox? Fucking paradox. Here we are again at the fucking paradox. Thanks for watching. Rob, I often ask myself, what could Great Britain do? We are still a great country, but what could we do to really cement free speech as a right, or as an obligation even?
That's an interesting question, Charlie. You know, in the United States, we have our First Amendment, which protects our free speech, and by law, it gives me more freedoms. In this country, I've had to learn what's allowed and what's not allowed, and unfortunately,
the hard way.
Well, for sure. Well, I say it's the hard way, but compared to, you know, those that fought and died for our freedom, I've been privileged in a certain sense that I have never had to worry about what I've said before up until, you know, till the incident of the cops coming to, stuff.
For everyone just joining us, I'll put that video of Rob being caught by the British Stasi for talking freely in a British pub. That's going to be in the description box. Please carry on.
Yeah, yes. We, as a society, I believe that we've got to realize on an individual level that we live in an uncomfortable world.
It is, isn't it?
And that's real life, and you can't get away from it.
You can't.
You can be trying to surround yourself with cotton balls and everything, where you're never offended, and you never
safe space for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. That you never. But that's not how people. That's not the real world, and you're going to be surrounded by people that you don't like, or say something that are mean, or something like that. And I'm not saying you have to participate that, but you don't shut it down. When you tamp down free speech, it drives it into places that it shouldn't be. Yeah. And allowing free speech, it gives, if somebody says something that's so horrible, yeah, other people can respond to it as they feel free to. Yeah. But not allowing it exacerbates it. It makes it worse. And so it's so important that you go, you know what, if somebody says an off-color joke or something like that, you know, you could say, I don't find it funny, but to take them, oh, I find that so offensive.
Police, he said a bad joke.
You have to be canceled, and you have to lose your friends, and you have to lose your job and stuff. That is not the place that we want it, that a good society, a healthy society should be. Yeah.
Say one last thing on the liberation of faith from worries about whether it's real. Oh, is it real? I mean, what in life is real? Like, you know, say you love your dad, and you go and visit your dad, and you sit with your father, and you try and find out where he is. You know, he's there, sat in front of you. But you get a microscope, you get a fucking CT scanner. You're trying to find out where exactly is your dad. And they're like, no, he sat right in front of you. You're like, no, I need to know where my fucking father is sprouting from. It doesn't make any sense. It's real, but you zoom in too closely, nothing's real. Oh, that reminds me, my big theory about the Big Bang. There's no such thing as movement. There is no such thing as anything except the infinite paradox playing out. And the Big Bang, instead of thinking that an infinitely small thing broke every single law of physics and became an infinitely large thing, what about if there was a god? A small little god, a little micro god. And he's like, woo, I'm going to jump into the infinity point. And little god, like, imagine a little Roblox character, little Lego man, little god, lowercase g, god, he goes, wee, and he jumps into the Big Bang. And in his mind, in the mind of God, it looks as if you're looking at an infinitely small point, but then when you get to the center of it, and you lean back and look out, you're like, wow, This singularity is the size of the known universe. Yeah. This is why we should do art instead of trying to ponder the meaning of the universe. As Oscar Wilde said, if you're going to tell people the truth, you have to make it funny, or they'll kill you.